All right, North Penn kindergarten parents, we're going to let our room fill up a little bit here for our information session this morning. We've got an awesome panel here to go through all the details, every single question, fear, concern, anxiety. We will solve all those problems this morning as we talk about the start of kindergarten for your kindergartner for the class of 2038. I'm Bob Gilmer, Coordinator of Communications Media. We're going to sit here and I'm just yapping a little bit to make sure we have time to let everybody hit the go button as they enter the room. And we're watching the room fill up. We got about 300 parents so far this morning with us, which is a great number. I think this is going to be about a 30-ish minute presentation. Dr. Mike McKenna, Chief Academic Officer, is that about right? About a half-hour presentation?
I'd say we probably will go a little bit longer than 30 minutes, I'm thinking, especially we want to hit on all the questions and information, Bob. So I'm thinking closer to 45 is probably accurate.
And we do have plenty of time for questions at the end of that to go through here. I do ask you this. We've got a lot of great information as we do the presentation today, and to just wait to put your questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your interface is a little question mark with a chat box. That's where you put them, but you don't need to put them now because we're probably going to answer that question in the course of the presentation. So if you could hold on your questions till the end, and then if we didn't hit something or you need some clarification, that would be the time to do it in the Q&A. If there's specific things for your child, specific questions about needs of your child, this is a general overview for everybody. So if there's something specific, we just ask you to reach out to your building principal at your school and go ahead and ask those questions there. So we're not going to get into the personal details or scheduling or things that may be particular to one student. We're talking about all of our kindergarten students. So that being said, I see 338 parents with us today. The class of 2038, gotta say, makes me feel a little bit old. I don't know about you guys. 2038. My kids graduated 3 or 4 years now, and I will tell you this, 2038 can come pretty fast. It comes pretty fast. So that being said, we're going to get fast. We're going to start here. I'm going to start by introducing Dr. Michael McKenna. He's our Chief Academic Officer. Mike, quick introduction. We're going to go around the horn here in a second and introduce everybody on our awesome panel.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see over 300 plus, over 350 now, Bob, kindergarten families for this class of 2038. Again, I'm Mike McKenna, Chief Academic Officer of the North Penn School District. One of my main responsibilities is overseeing and supporting the 13 elementary schools. So I would definitely be involved in your child's education as they progress from kindergarten through 6th grade. And I always mention, Bob, because I have to, I am a proud North Penn alum as well. So I know what you're experiencing as you enter North Penn School District. And as I always say, Bob, I had a wonderful experience here, and I'm so glad that your children are entering such an amazing school district like North Penn.
Excellent. And we'll throw it now to Dr. Pamela Hart, who's our Director of Curriculum and Equity. Pam, tell us a little bit about yourself and for our parents today.
Great. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pam Hart. As Bob has shared, I'm the Director of Curriculum and Equity, and I am delighted to be with you all this morning. I, like Mike McKenna, was an elementary principal for 21 years, and one of the most fabulous parts of my job was welcoming new kindergarten families and children to our schools. So even though I'm not in a building, I love participating in this moment to be able to welcome all of you and to get you as excited about kindergarten as we are as well.
Okay, up next is Marisa Neeson. Some of you may already know Marisa as we go through the process and our registration, all the things and our kindergarten readiness and all kinds of things Marisa does with kindergarten here. Marisa, give us a little introduction and let the parents know what you do here at North Penn.
Good morning, everyone. I am Marisa Neeson. I am the Early Learning Coordinator for the district. You likely have received some communication from me, possibly through the kindergarten activity portfolio process, or maybe our readiness camp, or just in our readiness tips that we're sending out. I am lucky enough to be in this district, getting ready to start my 15th year, and I get to be a part of all things kindergarten. So I am very much looking forward to working with you and your students.
Awesome. Thank you, Marisa. All right, up next, we have two principals with us. First is Jennifer Szynski. She is the principal over at Knapp Elementary School. Jen?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today to hear about kindergarten. I'm getting ready to start my 4th year here at NAP as the principal and my 16th year in the district. I've served in many different roles, but as Bob shared, I am over here at NAP. So special hello to all of my NAP Jaguars.
And up next is Jonathan Winkle, principal at the Oak Park Elementary School. John.
The Oak Park Elementary School. Good morning and welcome. And, having 2 children myself who have gone through elementary school, I've been in your shoes. And as your building principal and here representing here today, I want to welcome each of you. If you're a first-time kindergarten parent or if you're returning, it's an exciting time of the year, getting all excited and ready for kindergarten. And so shout out to all of my sharks out there. Got Shark right here, ready to go. So sit tight and hopefully you learned some stuff today.
Excellent. And we have 3 amazing educators with us this morning as well. Start off with Laura Grabon. Laura.
Hi, I am Laura Grabon. I am a kindergarten teacher at Bridal Path Elementary. This is my 25th year teaching, if you can believe that. 6th year in kindergarten, and it's my favorite place to be. Kindergarten is where we get them start fresh and get them excited about learning. So I'm excited to tell you a little bit about kindergarten.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura. All right, up next is Marianne Balaban. Marianne.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Marianne Balaban. I'm a kindergarten teacher at AM Culp. I've been at Culp this will be my 7th year, but this September will mark my 30th year all in kindergarten. So it's the grade that I've taught my entire life, and it's fun and happy, and we laugh every day. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of my incoming kindergarten friends.
Excellent. And finally, as always, last but not least, Nancy Hahn.
Hi there, I'm Nancy Hahn. I am one of the kindergarten teachers at Montgomery Elementary. And like the other teachers, I'm celebrating my 26th year in education. My 8th or 9th year in North Penn, I lose count with these numbers, all in primary education. And I have to mention that out of those 26 years, I did work with Dr. Hart in a different school district when she was a 2nd grade teacher and I was a 1st grade teacher. So we continue to educate all these fine young children and excited about it. So thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thanks so much. All right, Dr. McKenna, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, and then we'll get this presentation kicked off.
All right, thanks, Bob. You can go down to the vision for kindergarten, which I believe is the 3rd slide. Thank you very much. Of course, we want to start off with just a summary and vision of our kindergarten program here in the North Penn School District. As we know, we implement a full-day kindergarten program in the district for all students. We provide a strong foundation in literacy, mathematics, and social emotional learning. Students will be afforded increased opportunities to engage in all content areas such as music, art, physical education, library, social studies, and science. And we believe all students can and will learn in a caring, nurturing environment so that they are educated to their fullest potential. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hart for the next slide.
Families, you can probably tell from the presentation that each one of us have given as a part of our introduction that we recognize the significant role that kindergarten plays in your child's educational experience. It is the foundation. It is where students get excited about learning. And we also want to be really clear, as you can see on some of the bullets on this particular slide, that we really do balance the academic aspects of kindergarten and learning with the social emotional growth as well. We recognize that each child comes to kindergarten with different experiences, strengths and needs, and our commitment is to meet you and your children where they are. One of the kind of organizing standard ways in which we kind of make sure that the experience, regardless of the elementary that this child is participating in, is that we do use the Pennsylvania core standards, as you can see in that bullet number 1, as a guide to really be able to direct what it is that students know know and or be able to do in each of their subjects to really provide a really strong foundation for learning. And as Mike alluded, and you can see in the slide, we do balance as part of those standards the idea of thinking about academic growth as well as social emotional growth as well. And our ultimate goal is to really create a really rigorous, dynamic experience to make sure that students are really reading.
I think you're up, Mike.
Yeah, Dr. Hart mentioned she may have some connectivity issues, but I think she was saying that just, again, a balance of our academic programming with our rigorous academic programming with a balance of our social emotional learning and developing students holistically as part of our kindergarten program. We'll go into some of those components of our program that also, support students both academically and through that developing them with that social emotional learning as well. So we'll continue on, Bob, moving on to the next slide.
All right, so looking at the average day here is some instructional minutes that kind of break down how a day is kind of divided up here. So as you scan this list, you'll notice that every day has a special area time. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit with either physical education, art, music, library. There's content area, there's ELA, there's recess, there's 2 recess blocks in every day, there's lunch, there's all this stuff all packed into a day. But I think it's very important to note that every one of our kindergarten teachers knows that our 5-year-olds coming into the school are coming from various backgrounds. So it is not like every minute of the day is constantly happening and things are happening in every single minute. The teachers are really well versed in adding breaks and making sure things flow and making sure that there is gaps where kids are able to transition from one activity to the next. But this kind of gives you a breakdown of like, what do kids do all day? Well, this is a kind of a breakdown of what the day looks like. And I believe the next slide, Bob, will move more into like what a day schedule will look like. And I'll pass it off to someone else now. I believe, Nancy, you were up.
Yes, I couldn't unmute, sorry. Yes, so this is a schedule, a typical day for kindergarten. Now, this is the first half of the year. The next slide that you will be taking a look at shows the second half of the school year. And I want you just to look at the times. The main idea for this to show the beginning of the year toward the end of the year is that as the children become accustomed to the daily schedule and the routine, the rigor for learning will increase. Play is very important, not only in kindergarten, but all primary grades in the elementary school. It really, and you'll hear about it, just really helps to develop the brain. And all the research shows that young children especially need that active learning and that involvement. So you'll see the schedule. You're going to hear more about exploration stations in the morning meeting. These are basically what I would call no excuse activities. This happens in every kindergarten classroom throughout the year. And Robert, if you could switch to the next slide. This is the second half of the school year. And you see exploration stations is always going to be there, the morning meeting, very important in developing those social emotional skills that Dr. Hart was mentioning. We have our academic time too with ELA, the WIN time, math. And if you do notice at the bottom, it says that science and social studies is integrated throughout. We integrate that, for holidays throughout the year. We have our reading curriculum that ties in so nicely. We have geodes that really helps to build all of that learning across the board. So you'll hear about those different things from your children when they come home from school.
So you may be looking at those instructional minutes and those sample schedules and be thinking, oh my goodness, my child is not ready for that. But have no fear at all. It is very typical for children to enter kindergarten with a slightly shorter learning stamina. Just like when you learn to ride your bike or tie your shoes, with that consistent practice, those engaging activities, and those structured routines throughout kindergarten, learning stamina does continue to grow and grow. I always say to kindergarten parents, having taught many grade levels, there's no grade level like kindergarten in terms of growth throughout the year. The child that enters kindergarten really is quite different than the child that leaves kindergarten. So work with your child and help them to really grow their attention span, their ability to focus, just that learning stamina. So you heard Nancy mention, and you saw it in our schedule, this is the way we begin every kindergarten day. It is a non-negotiable, and it is something we are incredibly proud of here in the North Penn School District. Several years ago, when we implemented our full-day kindergarten program, we saw a need to really refine our students' fine motor skills and provide an opportunity for students to begin their day with a natural collaboration. Sorry, that's my phone. With a natural collaboration and an opportunity to really engage that critically thinking side of their brain. That is exploration stations. When your children enter their classroom, whether they come by way of bus or drop off, activities are already set up and they have the opportunity to choose what they would like to engage in. Those activities may be Legos, blocks, Play-Doh, magnetic tiles, you name it. Our teachers provide a diverse array of opportunities. What you will find is lovely conversation between children, creative thinking, and just an organic collaboration that allows them to begin their day. As you heard Dr. Hart and Dr. McKenna mention, we absolutely prioritize the balance of academic learning with social and emotional learning. To meet those needs in our kindergarten classrooms, your students will engage in a weekly second step lesson. Those lessons target important things such as empathy, fair play, naming and regulating emotions. All throughout the school year, they'll have a weekly lesson and then booster lessons throughout the week where they'll be applying those skills. We also utilize a responsive classroom approach in kindergarten. The vast majority of our kindergarten teachers have taken the time to be trained in this important approach. You'll hear from your student the most probably about morning meeting. I think every kindergarten teacher will tell you it is easily a favorite time of day. The students gather together in a circle. They all greet each other. Every student gets to hear their first name pronounced correctly. They get to greet their friends. We have a really fun share where they tell their students things like their favorite color, their favorite activity, their favorite food to eat. Just an opportunity to really build that community and get to know each other. Oftentimes there's an activity and the purpose of the activity is working together. Again, really building that classroom kindergarten community where students feel safe, they feel valued in order to learn those academic activities.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our ELA program. It is very well-rounded. It is a very exciting time because we are actually going to dive in and learn how to read and look at language. We have a few different components. Our word study, which is talking about phonemic awareness, our phonics and spelling. That is when the boys and girls get to meet Mama and Baby Echo, which you will definitely hear about at home. It's very exciting. We get to echo sounds the right way. We get to segment words in Heggerty and make sure that we are building little bridges in our brains, we say. So it's very hands-on and exciting for the boys and girls. Now, our Wit and Wisdom program is really rich text where we do a lot of read aloud, fiction and nonfiction. We learn about characters, we reread stories, we learn really good vocabulary, and the kids get really excited about using big words. So you'll hear a lot about that when they come home. Geodes are exciting because it's actually putting books in the kids' hands, making sure that they feel the books themselves and are excited to hold them and read them. And then another great thing that North Penn does is we have our win time during the day. That usually happens a few months into kindergarten when we get to know the kids. And during that time, it's targeted instruction. Does your child need a little assistance in an area? Are they ready to be enriched in a certain area? It's really fluid and exciting, and the kids love that time as well.
Hi, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our math program. Our math program is an iReady program. that has a routine, which you see there, try it, discuss it, and connect it. And that routine promotes ownership of learning, and it encourages communication and collaboration, and helps the children to explore multiple different ways to solve and learn the new concept. So during Try It, the children will actually get a chance to explore the concept first. Sit at their tables, talk to the friends, work through a problem together, work through different problem solving that we've taught them how to do. And then we come back together and we discuss it. And so a huge part of kindergarten, they're going to learn to share their thinking, not only in math, but in their Wit and Wisdom program that was just talked about. And basically, honestly, throughout their entire day, to talk, to share their thinking, to share their different approaches to what they discovered, to work within small groups, to collaborate, to explain their thinking, and to listen to the strategies that others have solve their math problem with. And so it really helps as well with that social emotional learning that's so important in kindergarten. And then the third part of the procedure that they'll be taught is to connect it, which is just making connections between the different ways that their friend solved a problem or they solved a problem, and kind of relate it to what they've already learned. Some of the things that we learn in math will be numbers, printing, counting, making connections between models of numbers and the written number, adding, subtracting, patterning, position words, shapes. So it's a busy year with the math. And then I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about content. Our content is integrated throughout the all of our subjects, so that it really helps to connect with the literacy, the math, and it's authentic. It's learning in the moment as well. Science, we're going to start with our new STEEL standards, which will bring the students through science, technology, engineering, environmental, sustainability. It's all hands-on, so the children will get a lot of chances to explore the context through direct experiences. Some of the things that we'll touch on this year with the new standards will be plants and animals and their needs, patterns and weather, and pushes and pulls with objects and things. So we're really looking forward to being able to do a lot of hands-on exploration with that. Our social studies, again, is also integrated throughout and follows, as we've talked about several times, the responsive classroom. And so it allows for their socio-emotional skills to also be integrated along with the academic concepts. And a lot of the things that we'll talk about promote group work and collaboration and discussion, and just making connections to their own lives. I talked about the social emotional, and of course it is also standard aligned as well.
All right, as you might have seen on the kindergarten sample schedule, each day your child will participate in a 45-minute specials class, which is typically in the afternoon time frame. These classes really, give our students an opportunity to explore different interests and build important skills outside of their regular classroom setting. Students get to transition to the classroom for the special, so it gives them a little opportunity to move as well in the afternoon. Some of the things that they do at each special, our art is really just a time to be creative, have students explore different materials and techniques through drawing and painting, as well as crafts. In library, students will listen to stories, they'll learn how to take care of books, and eventually they'll even begin to check out books and bring them home to you. In music, our students have a chance to sing, move to rhythms, play instruments, and really just engage in music in a fun way. And then finally, we have physical education, or PE, and students will, of course, get to move and exercise. And there's really just a strong focus on teamwork through games, as well as helping your little ones build some strength and coordination as they grow. And I can really tell you that this is a highlight of the students' day, getting to go to these different specials and really find what their interests are outside of the regular classroom.
in the next minute or so. So already, hopefully you've got a really good sense of just the interest, the robust experiences that your children will have in kindergarten. Lots of hands-on experiences as they develop themselves as readers and writers and part of a community. Recognizing that we live in the 21st century, part of our commitment is to make sure that they are able to navigate in a digital world. So we do allocate some time in kindergarten to really develop some of those technology skills. And so all of our children will be getting Chromebooks this year to be integrated into some of the experiences that they have in kindergarten. And our goal is to really build some early technology skills. And then our hope is that they'll be able to develop a sense of independence, some problem solving abilities, and confidence with this tool. You will see on this particular screen that families will be invited to come and pick up Chromebooks. There are a number of different days and times and locations to be able to kind of pick them up. And so you'll get additional information moving forward. But as you start thinking about your schedule over the next week or two, just some time, we hope that you'll be able to carve out to be able to pick up a Chromebook. You will see here that our technology staff is amazing and really will look forward to helping you and your student to be able to log on for the very first time. There's a short tutorial as well that'll help you some information as we're moving through as well. And if any of your students are participating in kindergarten readiness, you'll be able to kind of rotate that into the day as well. Next slide, please. There is, as we continue the conversation around Chromebooks, a yearly fee of $25 per student. And so for those of you who already have students in our schools, you'll be familiar with that. You can see on the slide that the fee does cover any accidental damage or repair that might be needed as we're moving through the year as well. There is, if you would like some more information regarding repair policies or just general information around Chromebooks, we'll be able to look at that through the digital learning website as well. And then you also have an opportunity to get some direction around the payment options. If you have questions or the cost of $25 is really a hardship on your family, please let us know. We want to make sure that we're able to meet families where they are and have your student kind of ready to go on that very first day of school. So thank you for that. And I'm going to turn it over to the next person who's going to focus on play.
So you heard Nancy reference play when she was showing you a sample schedule in kindergarten. It's important to know that we do utilize a purposeful play approach in kindergarten. Our teachers are positively amazing, and they really do invest themselves in the developmental understanding of how our young children learn best. These play opportunities are very intentionally planned. They very much meet learning objectives. There's always an alignment to an instructional strategy. What I always like to share with families is that in kindergarten, play is really more than just fun. It's developmentally how children learn. It is a vital part of how they develop and grow. Play-based learning really helps children refine their critical thinking skills, regulate their emotions, really develop a deep understanding of the world around them. So we are incredibly proud to have this purposeful play approach based on research in our kindergarten programs. It really allows us to demonstrate that academic rigor, really develop that big thinking, just knowing that play is the way that children work, rather than looking at it as sort of a break from work. It really is the way that they understand the world around them and really develop those broader critical thinking skills. And I could not go on without sharing this really important research with you. Really do encourage your children to play. I love that Mr. Rogers reminds us play is often talked about as a break from something, right? Let's finish the hard work and then we'll go and play. But we really try to remind ourselves that for children, play is where the learning is happening. When I think of what this research study tells us, scientists have told us that it could take 400 repetitions to create a synapse unless we do it with play. In a neurocognitive science approach, that decreases the need from 10 to 20 repetitions. So know that our teachers are incredibly talented and really do provide those play-based learning opportunities.
We ask that your child bring a backpack to school every day, a backpack big enough to fit a folder, and of course the Chromebook to be carried back and forth. It would be very helpful if you practiced working with the zippers and getting things in and out and zipped up and onto their back. So that's something that you could work on right now.
So your child in our full day kindergarten program will have the opportunity to have both snack and lunch at school. You did have the opportunity to see just a sample schedule. Your child's schedule will likely look a little bit different in their kindergarten classroom, but we do want you to know that our amazing principals create master schedules that allow a balance of snack and lunch. So if they have lunch a little bit earlier, they may have snack a little bit later in the day. We know that we don't want a hungry learner. When we think about lunch and snack, we encourage you to really begin to develop those independent skills with your kindergartner. So think about a snack that's maybe a just right size for kindergarten. Our snack is about 10 minutes in the kindergarten classroom. So we want to make sure that it's a snack that will satiate your child so they're not hungry in the classroom, but it's not a snack so big that it would take too long to eat. When we think of a snack, we think of something small and easy to eat in a container that they could open independently to really just enjoy that time with friends. If your child will be someone that is packing lunch, which is absolutely wonderful, think about your child in a cafeteria with all of their friends and what lunch will be most successful for them in terms of independence. Are there containers that they can easily open? Is it food that they enjoy eating? And is it something that they're able to manage in a time frame? We do not have access to microwaves, so please just know that when packing your child's lunch, that it does need to be something that can, in the classroom, be ready to go, and then they'll eat in the cafeteria.
All right, and the school supplies for kindergarten, all you have to do is go to the district website. And once you're there, you can click, select your child's school and scroll down to that. And then once you get in there, there should be a drop down for our school. And right in there, you will see the information. And one of that being the school supplies that are requested from your child's teacher at his or her elementary school. And also, if you are for any reason unable to provide those supplies, please just let your Strong Start teacher know early on, and we will take care of that for you.
Okay, so some things that you can do right now. Again, I know you've heard us mention that we know that kids are coming from all different types of backgrounds. Some have been to school, some have not. The thing that we want is your child to feel most comfortable. That's the most important thing. And we are, of course, going to help them with that. But a couple of things that you can do to ensure that that's a little bit easier of a transition is to know that they're expected to be able to use the bathroom completely independently. So if your child is struggling a little bit right now, start to have them do it on their own. You can be a guide outside the door to just kind of make sure that they can do that completely on their own. One thing that I do suggest when you do come to school on orientation day is to have your child look at the bathroom in the school, like go in, help them navigate it in there, whether they have to go or not, so that they feel comfortable in that environment. In terms of, I know that we mentioned the backpack zipping and unzipping, same thing with jackets. Again, if your child's jacket is not zippered, we will help them with it. But anything that you can do to help foster that independence now is great. Shoes, if you could, a lot of times when they come into kindergarten, they don't have shoes that tie yet. That's okay. We understand that that's a hard thing to focus on. We try to help them with learning to tie their shoes. A lot of times during expiration stations, we have fun things for that. Again, we're just trying to trick them into having fun and learning how to do things on their own. So shoes, hand washing, again, very important because it can be a little germy, which we know that's the world, right? So we're making sure to do that, and then using a tissue. So again, germy time, it's going to happen, colds happen, just making sure that they know how to kind of navigate getting a tissue on their own.
please consider leaving a change of clothes in a gallon Ziploc bag for your child. We ask that you put in pants, socks, underwear, a different shirt. I always ask my families to think fall clothing so that, you're not, when your child first comes to school, it's hot. But if you put something in there and then we don't need it till November, it would be most beneficial if it was something that you're thinking about long-term as opposed to just, the weather when your child first starts. Your child's teacher will tell you where to keep that, whether it's going to remain in the school bag or there's a place in the classroom for it. And it's just in case of an accident. And an accident could just mean that somebody spilled juice in their lap in the cafeteria that day as well. So sometimes it's needed, always more comfortable for your child to have something that they know belongs to them to change into.
All right. All of our buildings, all of our 13 elementary schools have all these various resources to best support their schools. The list here is not comprehensive, but it does list all the particular individuals who will be there to support your children when they enter school. All of our buildings have nurses, guidance counselors, 2 reading specialists across all of our 13 buildings. We mentioned specials earlier, custodians. All of our 13 elementary schools also have 2 administrative assistants in the office who I'm sure you'll get to know, who can answer all of your questions, who are always very, very helpful in supporting our families and our students every day at school. And of course, the cafeteria staff. We have cafeteria staff who are serving the lunch and also cafeteria staff who are supporting students to eat their lunch and navigate the cafeteria and support them with transitioning and getting ready and eating their lunch in that 30 minutes time, right? Getting through the lunch line, eating their lunch and transitioning back to the classroom after lunch as well. So all these resources are across all of our 13 elementary schools. And there's a plethora of individuals who are here to best support all of our kindergarten students. The next slide speaks to a little bit about special education. If your child does have an IEP and coming into kindergarten, that all of our individuals who were a part of that team, IEP team, will support the children as outlined in their IEP and documented in their IEP as well. If you have any questions about your child's IEP, you can contact the building principal, or we also have special education supervisors who support our special education programming across all of our 13 elementary schools. Those would be your 2 administrators who are there to possibly answer questions and support students. Also, all of our students who come into school with an IEP also have a case manager who is also kind of that direct contact, direct support for students. So as families, if you have questions, they can also be directed towards your child's case manager, and that will be given to you and outlined in the beginning of the school year. All of our buildings also, in addition to special education, as kind of part of that process and related services, we have speech programming, occupational therapy, physical therapy, vision, hearing are all also part of our programming that we offer across all of our 13 elementary schools.
So I'd like to piggyback a little bit on the resources that Dr. McKenna spoke about, some additional services that might be of interest or need for your family. The first is English language development, or we refer to as ELD services. All students or families are when you register for kindergarten or ask what the languages are that are spoken at home. We get some additional information based on that information that you share. And there are students who might be eligible and in need of our English language development program. So very much partnering, teachers will be partnering with kindergarten teachers to be able to provide additional instruction and support for students for whom English is not their first language. It is our belief that to really develop English, you've got to spend time in kindergarten, spend time listening to English and being able to practice and develop those skills, but we also know that there's some unique needs and we want to be able to meet them as well. And so if that is a service that your family will need, you will definitely get more information as you connect with your school team. We also have extended care programs in each of our elementary schools. So if you need some additional support or supervision before the school day begins or after the school day begins, there is an extended school care program that's really very robust and housed in each of our elementary schools. There's information on our district website that gives an overview of the director and the programming and just the steps that you would want to take in order to register. My own experience has been that this is a service that many families do rely on. And so if it's something that you're thinking about, I would encourage you to check out the website sooner rather than later just to see what those options are as well. I want to skip Suzuki for just a minute and talk a little bit about the guidance counselor support. As Dr. McKenna said, there are counselors in each of our elementary schools. We recognize that children enter kindergarten with various strengths and needs. So if your family may be going through a transition, a death of a family member, a divorce, or students who might really have some pretty significant anxiety about coming to kindergarten, reach out. This is definitely someone who could partner with you and your child to make the transition into kindergarten in the kindergarten year as wonderful as it can be. And they're really wonderful, incredible resources. And we hope that you'll take advantage of that if necessary. And not just in the beginning of kindergarten, but anytime during your schooling experience. Finally, and I think this question was actually in the chat asking about Suzuki. So if you are interested in your very young child taking music lessons, violin in particular, we do offer Suzuki lessons, which is music lessons that are based on the Suzuki method. And if you're not familiar with Suzuki, it teaches children to play instruments in a way similar to how they learn language through listening, repetition, encouragement, and early exposure. This approach does emphasize a fair amount of parent involvement, as well as listening and learning by ear and developing a love of music. And so if you are thinking this might be something that you have an interest in or your child has expressed interest in music, you'll get more information in your respective schools. But just as an overview, know that this is an option for your child. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague.
So in kindergarten, we do not actually assign formal homework. Your young child has already spent their full day in a school-based setting. We know that at this age, children do learn best through play, through conversation, and through shared experience with their family. So what you'll find is that your teacher may encourage reading together with your child, asking them questions about their day, practicing those meaningful routines and structures at home. So you will not see formal homework coming home, just again, continuing that open conversation, really knowing what's happening so that you can ask them about their day and affording those play-based opportunities. Our goal in kindergarten is to really build that strong foundation and begin to develop that love of learning.
All right, so kindergarten progress, just to give you an idea of what to expect throughout the year. We do have parent-teacher conferences in November. This will give you an opportunity to meet with your child's teacher, either in person or virtually if you choose that option, and to really just discuss how your child is adjusting to kindergarten, academically, socially, and emotionally. And it's a great opportunity to just ask questions and share insights about your child. In December, we have our first progress reports that are going to be a written summary of your child's growth so far during the year. It will really highlight strengths and then just areas that they're continuing to work on and grow in. And then in March, we have a second progress report that's shared after our second trimester. And we do have conferences. They're really only as necessary at your request or if a teacher reaches out to you and would like to discuss some further things about your child. And then June is our final trimester progress report, and it's really the end of the year summary on your child's developments and achievements from the year. But as a parent myself and a principal, I would just encourage you to just continue maintaining that open contact that our teachers really try to have with our families. A lot of our teachers in the district utilize apps that you'll learn about in the beginning of the year. such as seesaw or talking points. And it really just allows you to have like ongoing communication with the teacher where you can kind of reach out, if something's going on at home that's affecting your child or something that you're wondering about in the classroom. A lot of times it comes in like a texting format, so it's super easy for parents to use. It will allow you to choose your home language that you would like the communication in. So really, as a building, we welcome open communication anytime with questions and concerns. You certainly don't have to wait for these dates to be in communication about your child.
I know we spent a lot of time speaking about academics and programming and services. Of course, there's nothing more important than ensuring that all of our students and staff are safe across all of our elementary schools. So on this slide, you'll see a variety of things that we do to support the safety of our students. We do monthly fire drills, as well as weather-related drills, and practice those. We do also do school security drills. We actually use a program called ALICE, which stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. More information actually from our coordinator of emergency management and safe schools will be coming out in regards to ALICE. We've been utilizing ALICE for a couple of years now. And it's important that, again, more communication to all families will be coming out about what that is and what it looks like in our classrooms and in our schools. Also, just some reminders, whenever you check into your school's building, we use a visitor management system where you have to check in. Every visitor must check in through the front office who's entering our school buildings. Initially, you do need to bring in a driver's license or a form of identification so we can add you to our system. Once you do that one time, you still want to, again, bring that information in, but you will be in the system. So it will take less time after your first initial visit into our school buildings. When you come for orientation, that's also a time when we can get some information into our school systems. So then it won't take as much time as you enter our buildings again. But again, all of our schools use a visitor management system, and all visitors must go through our main offices. Also, if you would like to volunteer, one of those volunteers includes supporting Olympic Day or going on field trips. You must have clearances and submit those. Those can be found on our website or also on the Pennsylvania Department of Education. There's more information about what those required clearances are. But again, if you'd like to volunteer, go on field trips with your child, you must have clearances on file with our district. Also on this slide, again, I mentioned him earlier, is Brandon Roan. He's our coordinator of emergency management and safe schools. It's a wonderful resource in regards to supporting school safety, and he oversees our school safety across our entire school district.
So you should be already receiving school readiness tips and activities. They are being sent directly to the email that you provided when you registered your child for kindergarten. These were created and curated again by our absolutely amazing kindergarten team, very thoughtfully with information to help your child be as successful as they can possibly be when they walk in the doors of kindergarten. If for any reason you find that you are not receiving them, we're about 4 or 5 weeks in at this point, please reach out and let us know. We want to make sure that we have a correct email address.
All right. Sorry, I was in the middle of questions there. So K-Day, what is K-Day? So a lot of questions have come through about K-Day. So K-Day is an opportunity for you and your child to go to Gwynedd Square Elementary School and get some background on the rules of riding a bus. You get to sit on a bus, you get to meet with a bus driver, you get to go over the rules of the bus, you get to hear about the different ways in which the bus driver will interact with your child. It's a good experience for you to have to go and see a school bus and touch a school bus and be in a school bus together. A lot of questions came through about am I allowed to ride with my kid on the school bus on the first day of school? No. We have room for the kids and the kids ride the school bus. So this is your chance to go and experience a school bus with your child for the first time, many of you. It happens at Gwinnett Square Elementary School. It doesn't mean you have to go to Gwinnett Square Elementary School. You're not a Gwinnett Square student. All elementary students, regardless of what school you go to K-Day at Gwinnett Square Elementary School, and you have a chance to participate there. That's just the building where we're having it. Also, another question that you'll have is, my kid was probably going to be a walker because they live right next to the school. Can I still go? Anyone can go. You can go. If you're a walker, go experience a school bus. It doesn't mean your kid will never be on a school bus. There's field trips. There's always an opportunity for kids to be on a bus. So if you want to go to K-Day. It's happening on these dates at these times at Gwinnett Square Elementary School. It's a great opportunity for you to get on a school bus.
Okay, which gets us to transportation tags. And if I'm guessing as a teacher and a parent that this is probably your biggest concern. So take a deep breath. We have you, I promise. So when you come to school with your child on orientation day, which yes, you do come with your child, and I know there's information about that coming. So I'm just saying, when you come to school that day, there will be a certain part of your day. Each school does a little different. There's different sessions or locations. Don't worry. When you come to your school, there will be a certain spot where you will talk with the teachers and the administrator assistant that's there, and we will make you either a bus tag or a car rider tag, a walker, daycare. So your child will have a specific tag that says exactly where they are supposed to go. And the one thing that gets confusing is that sometimes you ride one bus number to school and a different bus ride number on the way home from school. Do not worry. I promise you the tag is what we use. And this is a special tag that should go on their school bag. And to be honest, it's a little tricky. So if you're not sure exactly how to put it on the school bag, please ask a teacher. I will have one there. Each of us probably will, just kind of show you how to put it on your child's school bag. Now, this doesn't mean that you always have to do that. So let's just say your child is a bus rider and one day you need to pick them up in the car. If that happens, what we ask as a team is to email the teacher, send it on Dojo or however your teacher communicates, and also let the office know. When it comes to a kindergartner, the more people you communicate with, the better, so that we make sure that your child gets home the right way. And just so that you know, the first few days of school, the way that my teacher, Mrs. Mann, says it is it's all hands on deck. Any teacher that does not have a job at the end of the day, whether it's the art teacher, the gym teacher, we all stand, we collect all of the kindergartners, we make sure that they get to the right rooms, and we make sure that they get onto the right buses. So I know it's an area of stress, but please know that we've got it and we will do our best to make sure that they feel comfortable and safe, and it's not something you should worry about.
All right, lots of questions coming through about kindergarten orientation. So kindergarten orientation happens on Wednesday, August the 27th at your assigned time. Now, keep in mind, the 27th is the first day of school for students in grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first day of school for grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is kindergarten orientation day for kindergarten students at your assigned time. This happens at each of the elementary schools. You will be getting information from your principal. I heard from Dr. McKenna this morning that all schools are supposed to have this out this week, by the end of this week. So you'll be getting information about when your kindergarten orientation time is for the 27th. If you're an Oak Park parent, you got yours already in the mail. So what you'll do is you will come to your child's school. You and another adult and the child. So as an adult, I believe Maurice always puts an adult and two grown-ups get to come to the school. You get to participate in orientation, get some more information, ask some questions. You do stay with your child at orientation. It's an orientation for you and your child. And that information will be coming out to you very, very, very soon. So that is kindergarten orientation. It's an exciting time for you to get more information.
All right, I'll add a little bit to what Mr. Winkle just said, too. So kindergarten orientation, actually, we're going to send out some more information today from the district level, just about a little more information about orientation. obviously the date, and there's 3 time slots that you will be given one of those 3 time slots. They're each 1 hour or 60-minute time slots. So as Mr. Winkle mentioned, we'll send out a district communication today with some more information about orientation. And then your child's building will send a follow-up communication, which will actually indicate your exact time slot. If that time slot really cannot work, please reach back out and we'll try to be flexible and make that work. Again, there's 3 separate 1-hour time slots on orientation day. As Mr. Winkle mentioned, you can come with your child and up to 2 adults can come with their child. So 2 adults with their child can come to orientation. Again, look for an additional communication today and then a follow-up communication from your child's school as well. All right, Bob, let's move into Strong Start, which is the next slide. Keep it moving here. We are actually very excited to kick off Strong Start across the entire school district this year. Strong Start was an initiative that we did last year and piloted across 5 of our 13 elementary schools. And we'll talk a little bit more about Strong Start in a moment. But with just amazing feedback from various stakeholders after the conclusion of Strong Start, from teachers, from families, from principals, we moved forward with, after gathering that data from all the stakeholders after Strong Start was implemented last year, we knew how great it was and we needed to move that forward and doing that across all of our 13 elementary schools for this year. You'll see those 2 objectives there for Strong Start, really providing equitable foundation of support for every child and creating well-balanced kindergarten classrooms to meet the needs of individual students. As you can imagine, we only have limited amount of information about kindergarten students when they enter our school. There are some students who maybe went through early intervention or have an IEP, have some documentation. We, of course, do our kindergarten activity portfolio, which gives us a little information as well. But with limited information, we had been in the past creating classrooms and then those students were in those classrooms for 180 days, right? And obviously, when you think about that, as kids move into 1st through 6th grade, we have a lot more information. When classroom placement, having been an elementary principal, takes a lot of time, a lot of thought, placing with the right peers, placing with the right programs and services, placing with the right teacher. All of those come to mind, and placing for kindergarten is difficult because we don't really know the children and we have limited information. So what many districts actually across the surrounding area are doing, including us, are allowing some time, we call it Strong Start, for children to really ease into kindergarten, spend the first couple days with all the teachers, with various peers to really get to know them. Well, as a school-based team, we collect additional data on social emotional skills, school readiness skills, academic skills. I know we'll get into that in a future slide, but all of those come into play on why we believe that Strong Start was really important for us to create the best balanced classrooms we could. So those children had the best experience for really 175 more days after Strong Start concluded, and ensuring that we had the best experience for all of our North Penn kindergarten students. And we have a couple more slides about Strong Start coming up.
All right. So at this point, I'm sure you're very curious when you will find out, who your child's Strong Start teacher is versus who their finalized homeroom classroom teacher is. So just to give you an idea of that timeline, parents can go on Infinite Campus on August 20th at 10 a.m. So that's an important date that will be coming out to you from the district. But for elementary schedules, they will be visible to families at 10 a.m. on August 20th. And finalized homeroom teachers will be available by Monday, September 8th. On Friday, September 5th, students will be having a Fun Friday, we'll call it, and you'll learn a little bit more about that in a few slides. On that day, we kind of sit together as a team and we finalize their homeroom teachers. That Friday afternoon, students will come home with a letter that will let you know their newly assigned homeroom teacher. So what you will see on Infinite Campus is simply their Strong Start teacher that they will begin the first 6 days of school in. That will be their home base, so to speak. But by Friday the 5th, you will get a letter that will let them know where they're beginning their new class on Monday the 8th. And you're always welcome to call your child's home building with any questions.
Okay, so just to go over all of that, the Strong Start lasts from the 28th to the 5th. And during that time, your child is going to get a chance to visit each of the kindergarten classrooms at your child's school. Also, during that time, they will be interacting with a variety of the different students and engaging in activities. When you come for orientation day, as mentioned, the schools are going to be split up, having you meet with each teacher that day even. You'll go with your child, say at my school, you would come to me and I will be talking to you about the Strong Start program. So I will be explaining the process, how your child will start with me as the Strong Start teacher for that first week. And then as the days go on, they're going to be assigned a color and a shape just on a name tag. And then they will get to rotate to different teachers in the building. And then we will also start to have them rotate with, say, some of the circles. All of the circles from all of the kids in the kindergarten will then go to a teacher. So it's just a chance for the kids to just get together and interact and engage. And I can tell you, being through this last year, it did not affect the children in any way. They loved it. And what we noticed as teachers, even going out to the playground, we go out for recess as a whole kindergarten class. Once we develop the actual teacher for the rest of the year, the kids still continued to engage with the kids that they met during that first week for Strong Start. At our school, too, we even did different activities throughout the year. We would just say, okay, we're going to go back to Strong Start, and all of the circles, you're going to get to go do an activity with one of the other teachers, and I would get the squares or whatever shape we had, and the kids loved it. So it's all part of really building that connection, that classroom community, and developing these, as mentioned, it's an equitable foundation for all of the learners. So I'm just saying this because I don't want you to worry. I think as parents, as adults, we think too much into things. The kids are resilient. They're excited. They're excited to be going to school. It's all new and different to them. They're going to come home sharing all the different experiences. And it's really just a wonderful approach. I'm just looking at the slide. Oh, okay. So, you're going to hear about the Fun Friday too, but at the end of this Strong Start, the teams will gather together and they will be planning to build the classroom for that newly assigned kindergarten classroom where the students will report on the 8th. And please know that your child will have already been in that teacher's classroom for a variety of fun activities.
I also was a teacher that went through the Strong Start last year, and to just piggyback on what Nancy said, not only do the children still gravitate towards each other, like on the recess show, for example, but they are comfortable with the 3 or the 4 kindergarten teachers that you have in your building as well. So we found that like outside at recess or just anywhere in the school, in the cafeteria, whatever, that they were comfortable coming to any kindergarten teacher because they had such a start with each of them. They got used to each of them. And so not only did it build the friendships, but it also built like the community within the school. They also quickly knew all the different guidance counselors and speech therapists, and they just knew everybody, and it really built on that really quickly. But as for a Strong Start teacher that you'll be assigned, that person will be your point of contact for the entire Strong Start like week and a half that we do that. The child will arrive in the Strong Start teacher's classroom. They'll do explorations in that classroom. They'll go back to walk to lunch and to specials within that Strong Start classroom, and dismissal daily, so that that teacher will be responsible and know how your child is getting home every day. So you don't need to worry that, in one day they're in this room and one day they're in this room. That teacher will know every day how to do that. That teacher's email will be provided for you so that you can email, as needed. And then if it's something that's needed to know with the other 2 teachers or 3 teachers as that day goes on, because they're switching, then that teacher will be the point of communication to share that information with the teachers that your child will be with that day.
Okay, sorry, I was unable to unmute there for a minute. Our Strong Start teams, this is really just all of the people that are going to be in and out of our kindergarten classrooms over those first 5 days of school. We will be taking notes on academics and strengths, how the students are performing, but also how they are socially with other students, anything that we see, grouping wise that might be beneficial. And this is really a diverse group of people. It's of course going to be the kindergarten teachers. Our reading specialists are a part of that. Our special education teachers that support our kindergarten grade, our kindergarten assistants, of course, our special area teachers who are going to still see the students for specials on those first few days will be a part of taking notes on how they perform in their groups. Our English language development teachers will be in the classroom, our guidance counselors, as well as myself, and sometimes our inclusion facilitators. So there are a ton of people that are going to be a part of supporting Strong Start in the classrooms to really ensure that we have all of the information that are going to help us build these really strong classrooms to support your children.
All right, so Fun Friday is basically the culmination of the Strong Start session. When they come to school on that Friday, they're going to go, like they have the whole first week, to that Strong Start classroom. And the kids will participate in the exploration stations and the morning meeting activities with their Strong Start teacher. After that, the Strong Start teachers at your school are going to leave so that they can start to finalize the homeroom assignments for the rest of the year. While the teachers and the whole Strong Start committee are working on that, there will be substitute teachers in place to carry on the rest of the activities for Fun Friday. I do want to point out that the Strong Start team, we have worked on this not just to get ready for last year, but several years prior. And we, as a committee, developed a wealth of activities and lessons, including Fun Friday, that your child will participate in. And the children will be doing the same thing across the district, which is a wonderful experience as well, not only for the children, but for the teachers. But on that Fun Friday, the children will go along as usual, doing all of the activities that were planned by the classroom teachers, and the teachers and the group that was mentioned prior will be working together to create that equitable classroom for the remainder of the year. And then it will be sent home at the end of that day. For the most part, you will know who your child should report to that following Monday for the remainder of the school year. I know it will be put into Infinite Campus. We're not saying it will be in Infinite Campus that Friday afternoon, but you will be notified from your Strong Start teacher who you were in contact with that whole first week, where your child will go starting that next Monday.
Okay. As the students are rotating through the Strong Start, we just ask that you remember to label your child's snack with their name. Also, a quick note on snack. It was already talked about earlier in the presentation, but I just did want to mention that if there's a way to let your child know what is snack in their lunchbox, because depending on your school, it may be a morning snack or it may be an afternoon snack, which if it's an afternoon snack would mean saving the snack from lunch and not eating everything in the lunchbox. It's snacks so that it's still there. Different suggestions could be just an IS for an S on it, but that would be more something that you would clarify with your child's teacher, but just making sure that it's labeled so that they know it's a snack. And then you'll get more information about whether it's a morning snack or an afternoon snack and whether or not it's something that they would have to save. They will need a snack even if they're getting their lunch through the cafeteria. So that's always something to remember too, that you would still pack a snack even if you're not packing a lunch. A water bottle is also welcome each day as well. Yeah.
All right. I mentioned earlier about our collection of stakeholder feedback after our piloting of Strong Start last year. We are definitely planning to collect feedback from stakeholders again across all 13 elementary schools. So we hope that after Strong Start is completed, probably middle September, we're going to send out a Google form to all of our families. So we hope that you participate and provide us feedback. We are always looking to continue to improve and develop our programming. Like I said last year, this was a pilot. We gathered feedback. We made some even changes and made Strong Start even better for this year. And our plan is each year to year to gather that feedback and to continually enhance and improve our Strong Start programming.
As we are wrapping up, just a friendly reminder that you all did receive a communication about the Strong Start program that does show you a sample schedule. I did see some questions asking what do the transitions look like, and you did receive a communication that shows you exactly what your child's 4 days will look like. As your child begins their journey in kindergarten, your continued support plays such a powerful role in their success, academically and socially. We welcome your involvement. We're so excited to partner with you. And please know that your child will absolutely develop that level of learning and will lock arms throughout the way. We are looking forward to an incredible, successful time. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right. That's a lot of info, right? That's a lot of information there, and appreciative to our panel here. We hammered through 107 questions during the course of the presentation. Many of you did not wait for the presentation to ask your questions. So they were answered in the course of our presentation, as well as the individual questions that are coming through there. So I would encourage you to kind of scroll through some of those pieces. Generally, I kind of saw like 4 groups of questions, and it really gets into like making sure I'm ready, make sure I have all the stuff that they need in the first day of school. So you should have heard it through the course of the presentation. I did. Everybody needs to take a breath. It's going to be okay. We got to take each step at a time. Everything does not need to be perfect today. And there's information that's going to be continuing to roll out in the course of this week and next week. We're a little under a month to go till we get started here. And you all received a message last night, too, on our important back to school dates. And it has lots of these links for K-Day, start of school, your school's start time, all of those types of things. And all of this is posted on our website as well. But you're going to be getting continual communication, not just for the district level, but each from your building level as well with a lot of these individual questions. So kindergarten teachers. So Laura, how about this? Lots of people asking about supplies. We put a school supply recommended list out there. Lots of people are worried about getting them. What if they sell out? I don't have enough stuff. Should I bring it day one? Real quick on supplies, just give a quick overview on what we were looking for school supplies and what parents should do and what, I'm going to say it here, it's okay on the school supplies. It's figure out, you listen to your kindergarten teacher and find out what they need and go from there.
Yeah, I would say take a deep breath. No stress. Don't worry. Your child honestly is not going to need supplies for at least the whole Strong Start, because to be honest, they're going to be coming in and we're going to have everything ready for them because they're going to be transitioning from room to room to room. So I would not stress. I know that at Bridle Path, we are going to communicate personally with the parents and tell them that they don't need to bring the supplies until back to school night. only because we know that we will have things ready until then, and it's just going to be too much for the little ones to carry. So I would say, don't worry about it at first, and you're going to have to wait until orientation day, talk with the team. The schools are going to handle it differently. It's not a lot of supplies though either. It's like a folder here, some crayons there. It's not a big list, and I would say just take a breather, and we'll all figure it out. Come orientation day, and you'll get a smile, and we'll figure it out. And if you don't have it, please ask for help. We can help with those things.
Yeah, and that's the key. Contacting your school, your building administrative assistants are amazing in all the buildings. There truly are, with lots of information concerning that. The next piece I had were Chromebooks. Lots of Chrome. We talked about Chromebooks, and then we got loaded with Chromebook questions. First thing I would say is just start memorizing NP Family Tech, NP Family Tech at npen.org. They're your friends. That's monitored. I don't want to say 24/7, but they monitor it after school hours, et cetera, to assist you. And you're going to have a lot of questions and how to get into Infinite Campus, and my login doesn't work. And it's okay. Just email NP Family Tech. Definitely get here during or not here, I'm at North Penn High School, over at Gwinnett Square Elementary School when we have our Chromebook distribution. You've received a couple emails on that. That coming up here in August. And they're going to help you. Our tech team is also incredible. They're going to help you get through that, get into the Chromebook, and how to create passwords and do all those things. So each step of the way, we're going to do a little bit at a time. But I do want to address this point because I kind of saw this theme going through. And maybe Nancy or Marianne, I think there's a concern over, we hear like we're giving them a computer. Are we just slapping a Chromebook in front of kids, and what's that look like all day? And it's been answered to the course there. But basically, what's a Chromebook usage look like for a kindergarten student this first year? Nancy, you want to take that one?
Sure, I can speak on that. Honestly, the Chromebook is issued to all of the students in the district. With us being a play-based and active learning, the children do learn how to operate the Chromebook, how to log on to access the different apps and the programs that are available. It takes time. We want the kids to come to school, especially in the beginning of the year, just to get accustomed to a school schedule and learning the routines. They do bring the Chromebook to and from school each day. It is to be charged at home. I know that was one of the questions. And I understand it's heavy. And we have things set up in the classroom. Some teachers have the Chromebook just stay in their backpack. Some have places set up in the classroom for it. The children love, they want to use the Chromebook. They're so used to devices. And we do use the Chromebook for individualized testing as the year goes on. So the children definitely do know how to use it. And it is up to each of the teachers in the district how often they use it. But the children do become very independent with their Chromebook throughout the year.
Excellent. Again, a little bit at a time. We just have a little bit at a time as we go through there. The other thing I saw was a bunch of questions on transportation. Just a couple points. You will be assigned a bus. If you're a bus rider, you'll be assigned a bus through Infinite Campus, which is the 20th, I believe, that's published, along with the other items in Infinite Campus. So just keep an eye on that, and no, you don't need to sign up for a bus. And then if you have particular questions about, well, the mornings I'm going to be dropping off because I'm going to work, but in the afternoon they're coming home, whatever that is, you're going to work out with your school on the bus rider and days that they won't be on the bus, those types of things. That's going to be an individual piece that you work with each of your schools on. And then being very clear about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. McKenna. So day one orientation, you are providing your transportation. You are driving to your assigned time to the school to go through orientation. There's no transportation that day. The very next day, the first day of school, you will be at the bus stop. The child will get on the bus, your kindergartner will get on the bus, and you have to do the wave and the tear as they drive away on the bus. You're not jumping on the bus with them and going to school with them. So day two, and that's why our K day is great, just to get kids used to what's it going to be like when I sit on the school bus and ride to school that day. So there, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Bob, let me just add one thing to that. So that is correct. Yeah. So, but one important part of kindergarten orientation is checking their transportation.
Yeah.
So at kindergarten orientation, yes, they're driving them there. They're meeting the teachers. They're understanding the kindergarten program. They're checking into the office. All of those things are happening. but we're also confirming their transportation, how they're getting to and from school, so that on the first day, the next day, when they get on the bus, that we're making sure everyone is on the same page, ready to go, and we're making sure all kids get to school and get home safely on that actual first day of school, which is really the second day of school.
Excellent. And then the other big group of questions was all over food and lunch accounts and ID cards and ID numbers and all those types of things. Mr. Winkle had answered one of the questions in there. You know, you can pay online and load your account. Again, there's going to be more information about that as we get closer. Our food service, school nutrition services department is stellar and is always answering our questions there. Don't worry, we'll get you hooked up at the school. But like as John said, pro tip there.
Pro tip, yeah,
you're a little cheap, right? You don't like fees.
If you go on the North Penn website, you can add money to your child's account. But if you use a credit card online, they do have a processing fee. It's not a North Penn processing fee. It's the company that manages the online accounts. But if you simply put cash or a check in an envelope, put your child's name on it, send it into the office, put cafeteria on it, we can upload that right onto your child's account. And there is no processing fee. We get it loaded right on there for your kiddo. So that is a very easy way to save some money if you're looking to save some money. I'm a cheap person, so I put that pro tip in anything. And also, I put another pro tip in there, all you parents, get your child's ID number, their student ID number, and work on memorizing that ID number because that is their lunch number. That is their passcode. That is going to be their number clear through graduation. So if you memorize that student ID number, that is their gateway to everything they possibly can need ever in North Penn history right there. So.
Yeah, that's how they're going to buy their prom tickets their senior year in 2038. So
prom tickets. I mean, you need to memorize your ID number because prom is right around the corner, according to Bob.
All right. So there was a lot of questions in the Q&A. And again, kind of you guys can scroll through that too. I'm going to take a look at that and download it and try to make an FAQ. We'll also post that to the kindergarten page on the North Penn website, npenn.org. This presentation, along with the slide deck, will be published there as well. So you can go through if there's any other information you want to take a look at there. From the panel, is there anything else in the questions you feel like we need to review before we wrap up today that you had seen?
Honestly, Bob, I think we answered so many throughout. And but if there's other questions, you can always reach out to your child's building. Dr. Hart, myself, and Marisa are always willing to answer any questions about kindergarten programming, Strong Start, and of course, as I mentioned, you can reach out to your child's building as well.
Excellent. It's exciting. It's really exciting. A lot of information to digest here. Lots of great questions, and I'm impressed with the number of parents we had on this session today. Really good. So. Share it with your friends and people that maybe couldn't make it here. This will be emailed out to all of our kindergarten parents again. So this information, even if you have friends that couldn't make it, we're going to send this back out with the rest of our information. And again, it'll be on the website. So I'm excited to see all of your students getting here, class of 2038. For the rest of our panel, we really appreciate your time this morning. We hope this has been informative. And school's around the corner. We got some days. Just take each step, and we're going to answer each of your questions as we go through the next couple of weeks. Alrighty, let's do the big Zoom wave, everybody. We got our big, our family. There we go. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay cool, and we'll see each of you very, very soon.